What's up, y'all? Sean Master Lee.
And Lulu.
Wow, I cannot believe it's finally happened. Feels like almost 2 years later, but the merger deal between Activision and Microsoft, it's official. I don't know if the ink's dried yet, but it's past the biggest hurdle, which is the regulations and all that kind of stuff. So, barring any sort of catastrophic sort of conflict at this point, yeah, they're joining the Microsoft family. Man, I remember when I was interviewing with them, and I feel like I can talk about this now because it's so long ago, and finally this is happening. But yeah, I interviewed with Blizzard, which is part of Activision.
Yeah.
I really thought hard about it. Like, do I really want to make this move? Because it was a franchise I love, Diablo, for a company that had amazing potential, but it was just announced that they were going through a merger. And at early signs were like, this may not happen. So I'm like, do I really want to join a company where it just won't happen? Right? Like, is it going to fail? For me, like, I didn't know if I want to join Activision in its current state. They had so many problems that I actually think it's good that Microsoft is coming along, hopefully inject a better work culture because there was so much harassment issues up and down the chain. And yeah, it was really bad. And Blizzard was even caught up in it. And a lot of the people that, I was talking to, I was like, man, this is a little sketch here. I don't know if I could pull the trigger on this.
So you end up not agreeing
I ended up not taking the job. I ended up working somewhere else. So let's check out this trailer that I guess announces we're finally going to be one family. I'm curious to see what they put together because, I don't know, there's been a lot of misgivings and sort of yay, nay among the fans of gamers of whether or not this should even happen.
It's going to work.
So let's see if they win us over with this trailer. By the way, if you want to geek out with us, make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And if you want some hotness, check out my fantasy show on my OnlyFans.
There's a bright golden haze on the meadow.
This is an old school song.
Golden haze on the meadow.
See, they're like, welcome everyone from Activision.
The sounds of the earth are like music. All the sounds of the earth are like music. The breeze is so busy, don't miss a tree.
So, this is home now. Home. Family.
Family bullshit. Look, I love it when people have a heartfelt connection to a company, especially they work for. But I hate it now when companies are like, you know what, you're love working here. It's like family.
Yeah.
I'm like, bullshit. Family will never fire you. Family would not sexually harass you. Well, I guess some fucked up families do that. But yeah, I don't buy that bullshit no more. But it's funny they would go as far to try to.
But still, isn't that wonderful?
It does feel very heartfelt here. Yeah, they're very, whoever made this trailer, probably the same people that made Call of Duty trailers. Like, they're really good at picking the music and getting an emotion out of you.
Family.
That's cute.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a
We need an army.
I can get us an army.
I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way.
It's about time. We're a team. All of us. No one fights alone.
I'll follow you from here on out.
How do they do that? How do they take something so corporate and make it so heartfelt? I mean, even look at you. You're like, oh, thank God for corporate mergers. M&A for the win.
Oh, they just need to bullshit me and then I will believe in it.
You know what? I think deep down, a lot of Xbox fans actually really happy and are really gunning for this because, and, you know, like, I'm not a console fanboy. Like, always from the beginning, I could always afford more than one console, partly because I worked in the industry for a long time, right? So I never was like Sony camp or Nintendo camp. I was like, good games, good console developers, I support them all. But that's kind of the one thing that Microsoft was always missing is like a pool of games to call their own that you could be proud of. You know what I'm saying? So now all these games, all these characters, all these worlds are now falling under this umbrella. And then you hope that Microsoft can give a shit this time. Like, they get it, right? Like, they're not going to fuck it up with like a lot of their past acquisitions. And I think culturally, at least, it's not as fucked up as Activision has become. And I feel like that's hope, right? It feels like welcome to a family that could start to care about its gamers, especially if all these games end up on like Game Pass. So I think that's what we hope for. Will that be the case?
Well, that is probably why it took them a long time because they want to know how they're going to introduce this. How are they going to...
No, baby. The whole reason it took a long time is because the government said, fuck no, you crazy? We're not going to allow this. You're going to be so dominant that... Like, it's monopoly. Like, you own all the best titles. Microsoft, what if you decided, like, boom, charge $1,000 for a game or take it off all of the platforms? Because that's what happens. Big companies, when they acquire a whole bunch, they corner a market and then they start to do really unfair stuff. So Microsoft had to basically acquiesce a lot to make this happen and sell different things and change how they're going to do the acquisition. Is it going to be enough? You know, time will tell. But I will say this, and this is actually pretty key, right? And I'm happy to share this now is, you know, when I was interviewing a couple of years ago for this role, I had thought about reaching out to Bobby Kotick, who was the CEO of Activision. And this, you know, was for a VP role, so I didn't think it was out of the ordinary. Now, I didn't know him, but he did graduate from my alma mater. And I thought it was worthwhile to connect to him and get a feel for like, hey, is this really the place that I want to be at, right? Would we get along? But I never did. And part of it is because he had caught up in a lot of this kind of controversy himself. And that if you had a culture of harassment that went all the way up to the CEO, to me, that was a red flag. And I'm like, if the acquisition goes through, is he still going to be there? And it was just announced, actually, that he will leave Activision at the end of the year. Like, that leadership is out, and Microsoft is going to put in their own leadership. For better or worse, at least it feels like a new start, a chance, a hopeful chance. You know, now would I apply again? Maybe. If the role opens back up again.